Throw Gang, we are joined by Ricky Crochet, Lauren Schlosserman, and myself. Oh, shit, I forgot to do one. The No Sock, No Cock, James Harris.
The No Sock Jock.
Sure. Welcome to the weekly Running the Boys with today's full episode only available on
www.throwingfits.com. My apologies to your cock.
Before we get into Throwing Fits hitting Paris,
Oui.
trying out to be a U.S. Open ball boy, and Love Island shocking the world. Let's get into a fit check.
It is a sweltering, brutal day in the greatest city on earth. It's actually crazy that it's going to be, the weather will be better in Paris than here.
If you're listening to this and you're on Tuesday, sorry, and you're going to vote for Cuomo, sorry, you already missed your chance to vote. Voting is closed. If you're listening to this and you're voting for our boy Big Zoe, stay in line. I know it's toasty out, but yeah. What are you wearing, Lawrence?
Do your part. On the feets, I have Simona Mall City Mocks. They will be my flight footwear, I believe. The socks are Manrisa. The fatigues are my favorite from Jean Erica. The crocheted top, as you said, this easy breezy.
Looking like a Love Islander.
Really? Okay, well, the linen.
Looking like Austin.
The linen cotton polo, the very breathable knit polo is from Uncle Pearl. This is being test driven on a terrible sweltering day to see if it's going to work for when I go on vacation after Paris.
You don't? Okay. All right. What's the brand of this? What's
Uncle Pearl?
Shout out Uncle Pearl.
PURL.
We love free small brands that send Lawrence free stuff.
What about you? You too.
What are you talking about?
Don't free brands send you small stuff, and we love that.
I don't think I'm wearing any free stuff right now.
Small brands sending you free stuff, not small stuff.
But the crochet polo, I feel like it's a very Love Island core now. It's very Fiji core, very Villa core.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in my polo era. This kind of checks that box. Yeah, I've been pretty light on the knit polos. I like like I said, the airflow that this provides, especially on a day like today.
While wearing a beater tucked into your pants.
How else would I do it? I'm not going to have even if it was like a little nip out, I don't want to do that.
Just saying, the airflow isn't even hitting skin, brother.
It is on my arms.
Okay. 8 inches of arms that are covered in knit.
I think it will be coming with me when I go to Italy.
You wore this on Saturday on another sweltering hot day. Do you just not wash your shit between wears?
Just deodorant, not really a big sweater, pretty clean boy. And again, this is part of the test drive.
Okay.
Just double checking that this is worth the precious real estate in the luggage,
Disgusting.
Right? Okay, thanks. Tell me how you really feel.
It's disgusting.
Thank you again. I was being facetious.
My man doesn't wash his clothes.
I do wash my clothes.
It's gross.
The clothes get washed when they need to get washed. Okay, I don't sweat like a goddamn ball boy.
Yeah, like
in Flushing, Queens,
like a Queens little piggy.
I am dry as a motherfucking bone. The hat is Sorbara's. The sunglasses are Thistles. The beater is Hanes. The jaws are Supreme Hanes. And I'm sipping on a hydro flask full of Lower East Side's finest. James, what do you wear?
The shoes are Nike women's Superflies, I think. Right?
I don't know. They're your shoes.
Whatever.
We love the brands, the big brands that send James women's shoes.
We do. Send me 6 pairs again, please. So I can give away 4 of them.
You have a whole rotation, dude.
Yeah. I only kept 2. The socks are no socks. It's too fucking hot out.
But isn't that okay?
Yeah.
When wearing no socks because it's so hot out, I understand that you want to limit the fabric on your dogs. Doesn't that make the shoes now smell bad or make them gross and you're losing longevity when you could wear ankle socks?
I don't think smell bad. I don't own ankle socks. And look how many holes are in this bitch.
What socks?
I got flow.
That is true. What are the socks that they're not called ankle socks, but crew socks?
Yeah, those are crew socks.
Crew socks. Yeah. So if I
feel it.
You can feel that?
Yeah.
Clip that out, Ralphie.
The shorts are Stussy Tekla, the lightest pair of shorts I own.
Those are so fire.
It's like boxers.
They are.
I think they're kind of, they're a little see-through. They're like Daphne from Paige DeSorbo. What's her name?
DeSorbo.
Yeah, boxers with
Wait,
pockets.
can I see what color underwear do you have to wear so that they...
Yes.
Like...
What can you see?
No, I don't know. Let me see the back. Let me see your butt. Yeah, a little. Well, now I can. When you pull them taut.
Red.
No, that's actually, you know what? Honestly, that's pretty good coverage.
All right.
Are those coming to Paris?
No, because it's not gonna be that hot. Like I already packed all my clothes, so this is one of the few pairs of shorts that I didn't bring because I'm a classic overpacker. Threw in all the fucking.
So you overpacked this time as well,
of course.
Wait, so you're going pants heavy?
No, shorts heavy.
Okay, same.
The shirt is Arlagache Workshop in blue. The hat is Small Talk Studios.
In brown.
The boxers are Hanes in red.
Red.
The sunglasses are Gianni.
How many shades are you bringing? This is where
I don't
I'm
know yet. From Pezze Vintage and sipping on a Topo Chico Twist of Ass and no jewelry because that's also packed up.
What? How many pairs of sunglasses do you pack for a week in Gay Paris?
I haven't packed sunglasses yet. We're going to talk Paris.
Okay, sorry.
Fit check, drink check complete. Let's talk Paris.
3. I'm bringing 3 for me.
Okay.
Is that Jenna's like that's unnecessary?
No.
3. I think, but I'm again vacation after. I thought it was
4.
fair.
I'm doing 6 pairs, maybe.
6 pairs of
Yeah, why not?
shades. That
Why not?
feels like one of them is going to be the Airbnb tax, and you're going to like maybe if you bring 6, it's a lot to keep track of.
Look, we got the one Airbnb left in the center of the city that has 2 bathrooms, each with a shower and air conditioning throughout, and 2 bedrooms. By the way, shoddy on the upstairs one.
Okay, I mean the
I feel like
fact.
that's only fair because like there's 2 people in your bedroom, right?
Yeah, I was going to say you're being so kind to let Jenna crash with us. Hopefully, she'll make a nice little cameo on the next Boys Only.
Is
Oh,
she?
But then it won't be boys only. It'll be boys and girls.
No problem.
Inclusively.
We'll figure it out.
No, yeah. The fact that you're being nice enough and letting her crash, you should get first dibs. 100%.
I mean, I can't say no to that.
Right. And
If I'd said no, what would that have done to like the free Warby Parker that I no longer get actually?
you should bring that up with her when you see her.
I should, and
Yeah.
I will.
That would have done nothing for me because I would have been like, James said you can't
You would have been
go.
like sick. Larry's
I don't know.
going French mode.
No. What is that? Well, we'll talk about what that even means.
What, going French mode?
Falling off of a bike while blasting a dart.
Yeah. Smoking a Sage Gainsbourg amount of cigarettes and kissing a man. I don't know.
Well, it's so speaking of darts, I'm looking forward to smoking, and you know I have the impunity in the past because we're on the continent, but it's so hot that smoking is gross, and because I basically have quit smoking for zins, I don't enjoy cigs as much. So I don't think I'm gonna be smoking at a clip that like maybe you or people that know me are used to.
How many zins are you going to bring?
I bought 5 tins this morning.
So you're good until Wednesday.
I mean, it's like I do like 3/4 of a tin a day. So like, I'm hoping that this will be like, this will help me pace myself, right? If I only have 5, and you can buy Velos and shit in Europe, but I'm going to try to kind of keep it to the stash that I'm bringing, but we'll see. But yeah, there might be a pack of golds in the mix.
Look, we're in the same place for a week. We're not jumping around like 2 nights here, 3 nights there, 1 night there, 2 nights there. So it's not like when we went last summer to Pity Milan, Paris, back to Florence, I think, or back to Milan, right?
No,
Or did we abscond from
that was
Paris? Okay.
after Paris, we absconded.
Oh, that's right. You know, so you're not like constantly unpacking. So I'm ready to bring a bunch of shit, just like spend the first day just unfurling everything and just setting up base camp.
You're
for a
gonna
week.
bomb the Airbnb like Iran.
Very topical.
Yeah, dude. It's a politics pod.
Bringing my own roll of toilet paper for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about this on next week's Afters, which, by the way, I think we're behind the paywall. This week's guest is that Mexican OT.
My relative was kind enough to grace us with his presence when he was in town.
Yeah.
That will all be explained in extensive detail later this week.
Yeah. Didn't get that much time with him. He's a busy Mexican man.
He had yos to yo and blunts to smoke or joints to smoke.
Yeah. And Bay City to get back to. But yeah, it was a fucking, little run and gun, quick little pod with a very fire rapper.
Yeah, we're fans. I mean, he's sick and hilarious if you've seen him on any podcast. And, despite being high as hell, I think he delivered. He's a joy to be around.
All right, Paris, my question for you, Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to get back on the literal bike, not the figurative bike?
So I wanted to remind me, do I need an app for that?
Yes.
Okay.
I will not be fucking opening your Lime bikes for you.
So the way that I was thinking about it is that because our schedule is like, I would call it perfect as is, and we have time between shows and appointments and parties and dinners, I kind of want to walk and get my steps in, since I don't really plan on, bringing the gym life with me from New York to Paris. I don't think I'm bringing any sneakers, and I'm definitely not bringing any like quote unquote gym clothes. I'm not going to be playing tennis with you. So I don't know if the bike is going to factor in. I'll probably get that app just to be safe because, like, based on where we are, like you said, we have a great location for the Airbnb, but there's going to be a time or two where we're going to need to get somewhere in like 10 minutes. And the only way to realistically do that is via bike, right? The Ubers in Paris are a joke. You can get the taxi app, but like that's also a cost that seemingly could be saved if we
Take
just
the subway.
the metro. I don't think I ever have done that besides going to the airport. Is it easy to navigate?
Yeah, extremely.
Okay.
And it's insanely easy to fare evade.
Okay.
Yeah.
They don't have like cops like making sure that you can't hop over the gate.
Well,
they'll send you to Rikers. They're equivalent of
hop
Rikers.
over.
Okay. It's just glass.
Like, yeah.
How do you fare evade then?
You just walk through. Like they're not like fully shut.
You just follow somebody. You just shadow a Parisian and you just go in with them. Okay.
Yeah. Just try it. Just try it. Trust me.
Yeah. This sounds like you're setting me up to go to jail.
No, they defunded the police. It's good. It's all
Okay,
good.
cool. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out.
I just had to
socialism.
take a quiz to be able to. Oh god damn it! What the fuck? I had to verify I'm 18 or older.
Is when I set that up, are we? Let's talk about the card. Is that going on the TF card Lime bikes or whatever they're
No.
called? Oh no, that's personal.
Yeah.
What is that like?
Just make it Apple Pay, bro.
€2.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what you put on the TF card. Okay, so you're only going to bike when necessary.
Yes.
I'm so looking forward to Lime biking. It's the best way to get around the city, best way to see the city, best way to just be main character. Throw on some MGMT, throw on some Fred Again featuring Skepta.
Well, you're in the wrong country for that.
Could have been.
You're in the wrong country for that. Don't you want to have like?
I'm still feeling like the fucking main character, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
MGMT will go to Paris, has to fall in love with some models and fuck on those wives.
Fall in love with models and fuck on some wives, dude. What's Time to Pretend outro music? Got that? No.
It's not, no.
So you're going headphones in, main character syndrome, just cruising around.
Of course.
Are you going to be? Is biking in Paris for you only a utility thing, a way to get from point A to point B, or is that like, yo, I want to just like cruise around and drink it in?
I'm not going to cruise around.
Well, the way you're talking about it is so romantic. I didn't know if you were going to do any guzzling of the atmosphere and ambiance and scenery.
Well, look, we're a 30-minute walk. Do you know where we're staying?
Yeah, in the second.
Okay.
Which I could say that.
Sure.
The second arrondissement.
Yeah.
I know where we're staying.
Okay, yeah. We're about a 30-minute. I told Jenna to tell you the rules with the lockbox. Did she tell you the rules?
No. Are they in the Airbnb email?
Oh, boy. Wait.
Let's go.
Wait, she didn't tell you this?
No, not yet. What are the
Okay,
relax. Just
oh, my God. Oh, my fucking God. All right, there's one key.
Yes.
Anytime you come home, you open the apartment door, you put it in the lockbox outside.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you leave the key
Yeah.
outside the apartment door because there's a code to get into the actual building.
Easy.
Okay? There's two codes. Front door, vestibule door.
Okay.
All right?
So there's two codes.
It's in the calendar invite. It's in your wife texted me that it's in your calendar invite and I put it on our calendar invite.
Great.
So you're double insured.
Okay, I got two codes. Feeling like Ethan Hunt. Got to make sure that the mission is complete before
fucking retard proofed the Airbnb.
Yo,
I hope.
Come on, dude.
Sorry.
The only time I'd like to just say for the record, the only time there has ever been any real issue ever in terms of a shared key with an Airbnb was you, my friend, in Milan. So other than so in terms of track record, I'm good to go, dude. I have my resume is fucking prime, spotless, etc. Just saying.
Wait, what happened in Milan?
I had to because we only had one key, and it was a night where we went out. You enjoyed yourself a lot.
Oh,
I had to walk you back and let you in, not put you to bed, and then to then go back out and continue my night. I'd like to chaperone you.
Yeah, but that was just because there was no lockbox. Now there's a lockbox where once you open the door, you can put the key in and go inside, and then whoever else is coming home. And now there's three of us.
Yeah, it's a shame that there's not more sets of keys, but understandable in this situation.
What I was going to say, so we're 30 minutes from the Marais, which is where everything tends to go down.
Mm-hmm.
A 30-minute walk.
Yeah.
And a 7-minute bike ride. So yes, I will be bike riding.
Gotcha.
I will also be bike riding out to, I think I have 3 tennis dates.
Okay, can I guess who you're playing with?
Sure.
Noah J.
Yeah.
Gian?
No, not that I know of.
Sorrow?
Not that I know of.
Who else plays tennis?
Okay, this is a stupid game.
Okay,
the
sorry.
thing is that it's really
My bad.
It's really hard to get. You have to be like a Parisian citizen to get court time on the public courts. Mike Cherman got courts. One of them is all whites.
Oh no!
So I got to wear it's like a
your Wilson kit.
Yeah. I got to wear my Kith Wilson. And then, I saw someone wearing Kith Wilson this weekend. I was like,
Stop it, bro. What was the context and what piece?
It was just like a t-shirt that said quiet, please.
They got the good merch.
I was biking through Williamsburg and I was like,
God
did a double
damn.
take, almost fucking went over the hood of a car.
Peeped one of those warlocks in person. That's crazy.
I mean, seeing in Williamsburg. Yeah.
So court. So you have Chernin.
And then one court is where players practice for the French Open. So
wow.
Very
Clay.
nice. Oh, it's all clay. Europe's all clay.
Wait, so
Clay dogs.
And
And then one public court with our guy Nagi.
Oh, hell yeah. Wait, how so the racket is a carry-on?
Mhm.
Okay. One racket?
Supreme Yonex. I'm only bringing one.
You're kidding.
It's the Yonex E-Zone 100.
Okay,
which is
but not the Supreme
which is
brand
the
one.
racket that Supreme
Right.
spray painted black.
they collaborated on that. They painted red and black. Okay, cool. All right, nice, dude. So you're doing 3 tennis dates. How do you, and is that's outside of the city or are they all
like a
over?
30-minute bike ride. So here's my plan, Lawrence. It is a marathon of a week.
Yeah.
A lot going on. Things tend to start going later on. The days are free. So my mornings will be work on throwing fits. Maybe see like going shopping.
Hell yeah.
Maybe see some good art stuff.
Ooh, some culture.
Nothing crazy. I don't want to be there when, the Iranian sleeper cells wake up. I don't want to be at the Louvre when that shit blows up.
Yeah.
Or anything like that, but like maybe like I have it written down here.
Oh, okay. You got an itinerary or a hit list?
Just like stuff.
A hit list. Yeah.
The Henry Cartier-Bresson Foundation. There's a Richard Avedon exhibition
Ooh,
going on. The
great photographer.
Bals de Commerce. Some sort of like experiential shit happening. There's a vintage store I want to go to for jewelry that came via a rec via Marisa Meltzer. Shout out Marisa. Because she lived there for a good amount of time when she was writing her Jane Birkin book, which is kind of on the precipice, I think, of dropping soon. Yeah,
she was one of the few people that actually, when it came to me posting my packing list, which we unpack extensively on the afters this week, and I basically have to defend myself in a public forum, which is typically what I do week in, week out. She was calling me out. She's like, honey, I know you think that like you want to have your suits and your silk. She's like, you're tripping. Though it looks like the weather from the forecast when I was talking with her last week versus now, seems like it's decreased a little bit in terms of
temps,
grade of Celsius. So I think I'm still, and also I told her, I'm like, it's not my first rodeo, but I do trust her.
You'll be wearing a suit when it's 94 degrees and 30% chance of rain?
No, not. Oh shit. Okay. Real quick with the rain. Are you bringing like a raincoat?
Bring like a little Arc'teryx thing.
Okay. Just in case.
Umbrella. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, fuck.
It's still going to be hot, bro. It's going to be like,
yeah, I know.
It's going to be 80s. It's gonna be 80s and
this is why I went
fucking hot. So I'm
polo shopping, which I'll explain later.
Oh, really? You went polo shopping?
Because I'm like, what am I gonna wear when I do go suit mode? And I maybe when what do I want?
Now I gotta unpack all the polos that I packed.
Oh, come on, dude. Trust me, we are not wearing the same type of polos. You're gonna hate what I got.
I'm sure. What do you get?
Lacoste polos.
Okay, I love Lacoste.
Oh, okay, sick.
Tennis brand.
Yeah, Parisian brand. I'll explain, but that's really the thought process. But yes, I will be wearing
what color?
White and black.
Okay.
One for each of the suits that I am bringing, which I guess, I will be wearing despite the temperature and despite the chance of rain. Yo, if we go to like a fancier party, it's Paris, and I want to kind of come casually suited and booted. Not like cowboy boots or big footwear, but just a nice little loose number.
All right.
Yeah. No suits for you. No tailoring.
Hell no.
I'm not bringing any ties this time.
Thank fucking Christ.
No ties with polos.
Thank the accessory gods.
Yeah. Okay. So what else are you looking forward to besides playing tennis?
I'm going to be wearing mainly shorts and shirts. Shorts and short sleeve because I just get too hot.
Yeah. You are a sweaty boy.
Sweaty little pig. Oinking in the mud, just rolling around in the pigsty with my other fucking oinkers and hogs. And I'm just going to keep it comfortable. You know what I might do?
What's that?
So I definitely am bringing like some like crazy unk footwear, but it's mad uncomfortable. I don't want to be walking around 20,000 steps in my square-toed Martine Rose croc mule loafers.
Those are definitely coming though.
So I might do the fucking chick move where I carry around a pair of sneakers in a bag.
Look at you.
And then when I'm getting the steps in, going from point A to point F, have like the ASICs on.
Right.
But like a block before the function, swap out the footwear.
The unction in your case. So here's my 2-part question.
Yeah.
One, so you're willing to admit that you are engaging in some type of Fashion Week specific performative dressing.
Yes.
Welcome to my fucking life, baby.
I'm not going to be like, oh
you.
shit, the photographers are there. Let me like walk around.
Right. And then I guess,
But again, it's more for comfort. I would wear the shoes. Like if I'm Ubering from like the crib to the unction, right here in New York, I'm wearing the shoes. But if you're in Paris and it's like back to back to backs, that's just not feasible. And again, I'm just going for comfort. Yes, it's some sort of like performative Fashion Week clown suit bullshit.
Okay, relax. It's fine.
That
I was just acknowledging
is
the
like
truth.
what your purpose for going is, which is totally fine. Totally
I don't know if it's my purpose for going. I mean, like, listen, will there be a text chain with me and Mark Richardson to make sure that I can review my selects
Christ,
for the
that's so
Instagram
pathetic.
dumps? Probably. Will I be sending you photos of yourself, which will never see the light of day just because, want you to have some options as well? So,
Oh, wow. That's so kind of you, Lawrence.
I mean, listen,
yeah, so I'm going to do the thing where
Switch
carry
out.
on the bag, carry on the Stu Nicholson bag, throw some fucking, keep a water in there.
Yep.
Keep a fucking racket in there in case, in case some court time opens
So
up.
you're going to be pulling up the shit like you just came from the gym.
Racket, some balls, some water, a little fucking
a tube, a fresh
a
tubie?
swag rag.
Yeah, the swag rag is, I got to figure that. Do you own a swag rag? Like,
It's a bandana. Yeah. You don't have any bandanas left over from your bandana Larry?
no, I did like after I got a haircut once COVID ended and our long national nightmare of headband Larry was over. Those headbands, which were torched, all got tossed. Yeah. And I don't think I have swag. Maybe I'll buy something over there.
Here's something. I don't think I'm going to drink until like Friday or Saturday.
Totally fair.
Yeah. I think it's just like, because then it's also, I don't want to go to like between us and the tens of thousands of people listening at home. I don't want to go to like the parties. I'm going home. I want to go home after dinner.
Okay.
And
how
then,
late are you going to be eating your dinners, you think?
Well, it's fucking, Europe. So I don't know. Like,
9?
Is that when they start?
I mean,
I don't know.
some do. I mean, the few dinners.
I'll just be freestyling it. So, but like, I want to get up early. I want to not feel like shit. I want to be able to like stay up on, not fall so far behind on work stuff. Get my tennis in. Yeah, like walk around when it's like nice and quiet. And like, here's the thing, right? Like a party where it's like, oh, brand and media place. And like the sponsor is this tequila and it's hosted by this influencer. Like, yeah, if I don't do that here, why would I do that in Paris? It's the same fucking shit.
That's especially with the same people that you could do that with here to some degree. I mean, obviously it's going to be great to see friends that we don't see, week in and week out. Yeah, my issue is that some of this shit just starts really late. Like, I'm with you. Am I going to be going to a thing at 11? Probably not. Or maybe it's like a pop in type thing.
It's like, yo, if you want, oh shit, you saw like Pusha T popped out and we heard like 3 songs from the Clips album. And that was at 3 a.m.
No,
thank you.
No, I'm not going to be an after midnight guy. Also, like, just on the personal journey that I've kind of been on recently, watching what I eat and what I drink, I don't plan on going that turbo either. Like a glass of wine or 2, but I don't think like what we experienced a year ago this time, at least for me, the extreme straight up fucking binge drinking, not to sound like a fucking narc, was like out of control. And I think it definitely affected my mentals throughout that trip. Now, that was a marathon that we sprinted, or at least I did. I can only speak for myself all the
2
way
weeks.
through. And I won't be even remotely approaching
And your wife
that.
will be there.
Well, she was there last time too. It didn't. She doesn't care. Like, literally, we are. Forget about you not seeing her. I am not going to see her. She's going to be doing her own thing. I got on our shared calendar. I have all her reservations, all her aperitivos. She's going to be working remotely, living her best life. Besides, like, sleeping next to her in bed. We're not doing a bunch of shit together.
Man, just like Jeremiah and Iris. Am I right, brother?
It's more of like a friendship marriage, no. But yeah, I think we're on the same page. Not that we need to remotely police each other or anything like that, but I think I'm in agreement with you for sure.
Yeah.
Taking it easy and breezy and just kind of like, enjoying it.
I love Paris. I can't fucking wait to be there. Just eating.
So let's
drinking, tennising,
let's talk,
walking, biking.
Let's talk shopping
farting.
real quick.
What?
So outside of the new jewelry store rec, do you have any other new places you're looking to check out? And then obviously anyone who's listened to any of our multitude of Paris pods, you know, like the standbys and all the places like the Archivist or Rendezvous or, you know, all the places we were, the Broken Arm, all the places we go to normally. Do you have any other new spots? I have 2 that I wrote down.
Oh, wow. So that's so funny you asked me. Why don't you just go ahead since...
No, you start.
I don't know. Okay. I haven't looked at my list. So go ahead, Lawrence.
I'm pretty psyched to finally see 24 Process in person. I think that they're gaining a nice little, well, depending on how you think Brad Pitt is looking these days, 24 Process has, I feel like, blown up because Taylor McNeil is getting a lot of like his vintage looks, the non-George Cortina red carpet fits, more of like the date night outfits from 24 Process. I'm pretty excited. They have like a lot of the kind of, I would say like, you know, vintage du jour right now, the Armani, the Gerbeau, you know, silk shirts, things like that. And then there's this other place that I feel like doesn't get shouted out a lot. And these are all great Instagram follows as well, just for like, you know, can buy all this stuff off Instagram or online or just get inspiration for free. This place, Les Epiceries, which is like another kind of like vintage Stoney, vintage Prada, some vintage Armani, another one of those kind of like purveyors of the vintage brands and the look that I think is like having a deserved cool moment right now and how I want to dress. So I'm excited to check those places
Polos.
out. Yeah, polos. Exactly. I'm pretty excited to
Yo,
pop
you guys
in.
fuck with polos?
Do you, when we leave like and head out of town and go to you know, a foreign destination and we're shopping in a faraway land, do you have a budget that you set for yourself or you kind of just freestyle it?
No.
Is there anything that you're like
money's not real on vacation?
That's true, and that is dangerous. But like, is there anything that you're like looking to grab, or
no?
Is it like part
maybe,
of
maybe some vintage jewelry?
Yeah,
which I think, you know, is like in terms of what you can get, maybe not in New York or
sure.
I feel like is just there's probably more availability in Paris. I don't know. I'm looking at my list. I mean, there's some. It's mainly restaurants.
It's cool, or I don't know if you think that maybe this is not cool, but it's interesting to me the trend that I'm seeing with these kind of more popular vintage stores that like also specialize in like fashion-y vintage and certain brands that like cater to the Paris Fashion Week crowd. I'm seeing this kind of newer thing where like they are not a part of Paris Fashion Week, like the calendar, or maybe not even throwing events or pop-ups.
The vintage store is on Paris Fashion Week calendar?
No, they're not. What I'm saying is they know.
I know.
Oh, okay. Either way, they are not, you know, naive to the fact that like this mass of customers with deeper pockets when it comes to garms is coming into town. And I feel like they really like trot out like the best of the best and like refresh racks like every day. Not that I'm going to be like checking every day to see what's new at like the Archivist, but like that is, I think, a concerted effort these kind of stores are making to cater to this crowd, which to me is like could potentially be dangerous, hence my budgetary questions.
Oh, damn. Why?
Yeah.
You have a budget for yourself? Are
No.
you doing the thing where you ask me a question that you have an answer to?
No. No.
But
But
Emporio Armani jeans. Are you going to get some Armani jeans shirts?
we'll see. I don't know.
Do you have any Armani jeans?
Jean shirts. Yeah.
Do you have any Armani jeans pants?
No, I don't.
Fuck is up with that?
I don't know. I haven't found the right pair yet, but that could be something that finds its way into my suitcase. I guess with you kind of just like throwing stuff in the suitcase versus me, the Chad packing James versus the Virgin packing Larry, where like the fits are, there's a framework of what is being worn together and kind of like on what day. Sometimes then when you like go shopping, you find almost like the Rosetta Stone where you're like, oh yeah, like I need a hat like that that's going to match this thing, or oh shit, that accessory or that shirt would actually work better than what I packed. So that's like, to me, is kind of exciting where it's like putting fits together in real time, boots on the ground, and kind of switching up the matrix that I have established for myself.
But when you're shopping, don't you have your entire wardrobe in mind, not just the stuff that you brought on the trip?
Well, that's
I see something at like, thanks God I'm a VIP.
Yeah.
It's not only because it like, oh, that really vibes with like the shorts that I brought here and the shirt. It's like, no,
I think I
have the whole fucking inventory locked up here.
And that's great. I think I'm absolutely a bit of a prisoner of the moment. I mean, you know me, when it comes to the performative clown college bullshit, as like you would justifiably call it, like, yes, I'm thinking of like, what am I wearing tomorrow? What am I wearing to maybe this specific event or show or whatever? So that I think can hurt me in the long run of missing the bigger picture. With that said, it never hurts to have more gems, you know what I'm saying, in the collection. So we'll see.
The dangerous thing about shopping on vacation is you can always justify like, oh fuck, if I don't buy right now, like I'm never gonna see this, especially with vintage, right? So it's
100%.
So I'm trying to think of when
Dangerous mindset.
Yeah, but then also like I think I like passed on like a husband shirt right one year, and then I was like, and then the next time I was in Paris, I was like, well, I have to get it now.
Are you gonna see Eduardo when you're there? Are you gonna pull up?
Gonna see Eduardo. Gonna see Nicolas. They said to pull up. Unfortunately, my suit will not be ready.
Oh,
I was kind of hoping that
would
have
been so good, dude.
Yeah. I don't pack suits because I'm picking them up.
Yeah, I have appointments all around the globe of suits that might be ready for
I
when
know.
I
I think it's gonna be ready like 2 weeks after.
That'd have been fucking sick, dude. You're like, yeah, I'm not bringing a suit because the husband's joint, the made to measure husband's is waiting for me.
Yeah.
Oof.
Timing just unfortunately did not work out.
Damn. What could have been?
Yeah, definitely gonna stop by Husbands, Rendezvous, Broken Arm, Archivist, Fisholi, Corner. What is it? Next Door Corner. I don't know.
Yeah.
Again, I'm more excited about food.
Ooh, hit me, bro. Yeah, tell me
your
what
fucking mouth to water. Pause.
Yeah, what are your spots so far?
Well, I haven't been to a lot of these.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying what is on the radar
right now. So I'm just gonna go in the order of what was most recently added to the list. Sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Dinner only. Buvette Palace.
Oh, of course.
Au Pied du Cochon, a classic. Chez Omar, a classic. Le Collier de la Reine. Kind of looks like shit, actually. Café de Coin. Plaque Chocolat. Allowed. Le Bon Georges. That's supposed to be fire. Like a brand new kind of like casual seafood spot.
Mm-hmm.
Le Vert Taquin. Le Chêne. Oh, 24 process on my list.
Nice.
Chop Chop Love.
Ooh, what kind of food do they serve there?
Just says tap ass, bro.
Chop chop, let's tap ass.
Chop love, baby. Oh, here's a good store on Face.
What's that about?
Wally Faye. That's where we went with Nagi last time and Cameron.
Oh, the fucking what country in Africa is that food from?
Like Cote d'Ivoire, Somalia.
That was
Western Africa.
Fucking gas, dude. Gastronomical.
Yeah.
Are you a Chez Genou guy?
What is that?
It's like a really good
bar.
It's like a nice lunch spot. I think it's become. I was a recommendation from Gallagher a million years ago, and I try to go every time that I'm in town. It's a bit torched, which is rough. And he did give me an alternate that's around the corner. I can't find it, but that's the one where, regardless of how packed it is, like I don't mind, just chilling and waiting for a cheeky table a little bit, but it's quite the scene. It's delicious. And when it comes to like eating, we talked about packing the TP. I try to like definitely eat light when I'm on the road.
Are you sick in your eating disorder while you're on the road?
Well, it's not so much an eating disorder now. It's about just being more aware of like.
You eat once a day, yeah?
No. I'm over that now. Well, with going to the gym, I want to
fucking fatty.
With going to the gym, I try to have like
fucking fat
a little, like a later breakfast.
Damn, bro, you're eating twice a day. That's fucking.
Might throw in a David bar. No, the big thing for me now is not tracking, but being aware and cognizant of my macros for the most part.
What the hell what does that mean?
It's just track. It's just okay. It's literally. Depending on like what your kind of caloric kind of what's the term that I want to use? Your caloric budget for the day, whether you're trying to be like maintenance, so not gain, not lose any weight, or maybe lose some weight. So being aware of that, and then breaking that down into total amount of grams of carbs, protein, and fat.
So this is easy to do when you're ordering from chain restaurants and fast food spots because they give you all the fast food. So like how many calories are in like a Jersey Michael's sub?
It depends on the sub, brother.
But how do you do this when you're, this is a serious question. How do you track all this bullshit,
so I don't
fake science when you're on the road?
So I'm not on some meathead shit, no pun intended, where like I'm actually tracking this stuff, but just being aware of like eating high protein foods that are like, going to fill you up and then ultimately are like good are good. Yeah, the meat that's going to fill you up.
So you're like, all right, steak.
No, like chicken for sure. Chicken, greens. When it comes to steak frites, maybe sub out the frites, maybe casually graze on them as a treat, but trying to keep it. And that's why I think the steps for me are going to be really important. The fact that will be my main kind of physical activity. So that's just kind of the general health kind of mindset, not so much an eating disorder or like anything like that, but just
how many meals a day do you eat now?
2. With
respect, bro.
With like a like a healthy snack.
He 2x the meal intake.
Yeah, dude. I had a lot of room to grow.
Huh?
I had a lot of room to grow because I was the only.
I thought you were trying to shrink.
I just meant in terms of the caloric budget because I'm not OMADing anymore. I've added the elusive second meal has hit Larry's tummy. Anyway, that's my thought from a food standpoint. But yeah, chickens,
chicken
steak, chicken steak, veggies, good carbs.
So you're just eating well.
Yeah, no, but you laugh.
Right,
but like there's a lot of room for improvement just based on how I've been living my life for the past 38 years.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway.
One thing I'm excited for is to kick it with the OL homies.
Yeah.
We missed their pizza party in Milano and missed the spring-summer 20th anniversary B-sides. Running it back with the greatest of the last 2 decades, including
the best that never did it. Yeah.
And including a t-shirt that features a lot of text from the Throwing Fits Reddit, which is just a cavern of subhuman primordial ooze scum that is just like, with their slimy fingers just tapping out words on the anonymous forum.
Yeah, the mouth breathers.
And I guess they had a lot to say. They always have a lot to say.
Yeah.
Whether it's my physical looks or your physical looks or our legacy getting a minority investment from LVMH Ventures.
Yeah.
And so I guess, the stock homies are tapped in and they copy pasted some comments onto a t-shirt that probably won't make it to retail, if I have to imagine. It's kind of just like more like
I need one for sure.
A merchandising presentation vibe.
The angry fan mail graphic tee does feature a Voltron of various quotes from the mouth breathers on the TF subreddit, the subhumans on the subreddit, from a variety of, I think, OL related threads, whether it was the LVMH investment, like you said, or I don't know, people just generally talking shit about a brand that is very near and dear to our hearts, to the audience's heart, to the podcast. Very integral, I think, in terms of, the brands that we love and support here. I don't know if you want to read this quote, or I guess a bunch of quotes jammed together, but it is pretty hilarious that you guys kind of made it onto the Summer Jam screen, I think, for lack of a better analogy. So shout out to y'all, but it's pretty funny all smashed together.
What's your favorite one?
Just this giant quote that when all jammed together actually kind of makes no sense. I don't know if you want to read it.
Well, no, but it's a bunch of different quotes jammed together. So like, what's your favorite?
I thought it was just the one big one.
No, it's not.
Okay, well, my favorite is obviously "You fucked up assholes." That's a banger. I just meant this big block quote.
That block quote is a Voltron of many different quotes. And what's funny is that I was kind of just searching in the Reddit for like the keywords to like find if it was one big block quote or like just to confirm that it was from a Reddit, and it is. Turns out if you search like disappointed or looks like shit or whatever, it actually brings up a lot from our treasured members of the Throwing Fits subreddit, the 14th most popular podcast subreddit on Reddit
as of today. Yeah,
as of today. So thank you for that, I think. But excited to see the homies. And look, Paris is a great time. I mean, this is not anything new, but it's like, you know what it is? It's like everyone you see in New York, you're like, yo, let's get a drink sometime. Like, you don't do that in New York. But you do it in Paris because you're like, oh, we're stuck in a foreign city.
I got nothing else going on.
Like ScarJo and Lost in Translation. I'm going to be racist and fucking whatever.
Can we say,
can we be racist towards the French? Yeah, of course.
Well, yes, for sure. And Italians and all Europeans for that matter. Can we say, I don't know if it's embargoed or what, what OL is celebrating in Paris? Can we talk about that? Or is that not? Okay, never mind. But that's what I'm excited to see. Some of those jawnz. That's what I'm hyped on.
Word. Yeah. So we'll have a full recap before Lawrence goes off. Where are you going? Ischia?
No, I'm going to. We're flying to Rome and then going 45 minutes to an amazing hotel whose name I cannot remember, but it's from a sick hotel group. We stayed at.
Check the calendar. It's on the ocean.
Yeah, it's on the water. The hotel, drum roll, it's got like a very fucking Italian ass name.
Giuseppe.
And no, Linguini.
Pizza party.
It is called. I should have just gone to the calendar. I'm actually doing a way less efficient scroll through my
you don't
text with Jenna.
It would have been quicker to just call Jenna.
And also, can you buy me a little bit of time so I can?
It's okay. We don't have to go.
I feel like I want to let people know where I'm.
Why don't you just go to your calendar? Do you not have it open?
Nah. It was another.
Why don't I text Jenna?
I got it here. La Posta Vecchia. It is it's part of the Pelicano Hotel Group, who does an amazing hotel in Ischia called Mezzatorre, which Jen and I have been lucky to say before. This is a magical hidden gem on the coast of Paolo Laziale. La Posta Vecchia is a home for your imagination. Surround yourself by Renaissance splendor and a sense of ancient history, or embrace La Dolce Vita in contemporary style.
Oh, damn. This is a big ass castle. Yeah, no,
looks
I'm
pretty
on it.
fucking good, right? I'm pretty hyped. It's one of those things where it's a shorter.
Woo!
It's what?
The price per night.
I was gonna say it's a
goodness, brother.
It's a shorter trip for us where we're gonna mainly be on the grounds of this incredible, like you said, castle villa kind of situation. And yeah, I'm really excited to just kind of unwind and chill after Paris Fashion Week. It's gonna be a nice little amuse bouche, without a doubt.
What is
the stay at the hotel? It's not gonna be long.
It's an amuse bouche
after Paris Fashion Week.
Oh, so it's a digestif.
There it is. It's going to be, let me run that back. It's going to be a nice little digestive after Paris Fashion Week. This is why I need to travel to such nice places so I can learn how to be culture.
Dinner's over. You're like, hey, can I get a little like piece of bread with a cherry or something as a little amuse bouche?
Yeah, whatever. I thought amuse bouche just happened between courses.
No, amuse bouche is
Just
before
one.
Everything. It's a little palate.
It's a preceding, not following thing.
You're thinking of a palate cleanser.
It will be a nice little palate.
Like a lemon sorbet.
You know, it's honestly going to be like a nice, I would say probably palate cleanser, or maybe even a digestive after Paris Fashion Week here. Let's just use that. Where are you going? Coming back here, right?
I'm coming back here for a few days, and then I'm going out to Sonoma Valley.
Ooh.
A buddy who lives out there, he's having a 40th birthday, so all the homies are descending upon his family's ranch.
Nice.
That's where he got married. So it's kind of like it's
You've been before.
Yeah, it's a big like wedding venue, a corporate retreat. It's like rustic, but like kind of, you know, it's not like luxurious by any stretch, but it's just fucking beautiful.
Sick.
All the homies, and then I'll spend a few days in Sea Ranch after for my B-Day.
Speaking of night shit, yeah, that's right. Jimmy's turning 30 something. 39. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to dox you. That'd be sick.
Yeah, but I think we'll probably right when we get back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saving my European summer travels for later in the summer. But Paris, we're inside you.
Yeah, if
you're listening to this,
yeah, we're
right?
there. We're inside you.
Yeah,
we have the meats.
We were inside ThriftCon this past week in Lawrence. That was, shout out Emma, shout out ThriftCon. I was like kind of blown away by the scale of it.
100%.
I didn't really know this thing because I guess it was like more of a West Coast flyover state thing, that this was their inaugural New York con.
They finally got the permits. Congrats, boys.
They finally found a space. I guess like everyone who, first of all, the average age was like 19. And everyone's like, oh man, like this is where I rave. Like this is like,
it's weird being in here with the lights on.
Yeah. Without not being in a K-hole.
Yeah.
Fucking massive.
I loved
massive
it.
space.
It was really cool to see.
It felt like musically, sonically, it felt like being in the rave at the opening of Blade.
Yeah,
and kind of aesthetically too.
That's
with the vamps,
a bit industrial, filled with vampires. Yeah,
yeah. I was talking to some of the people that had set it up, and they're like, "Yeah, I've been here since 7 a.m." I was like, This music's been going since 7. Like, yeah, I want to fucking kill myself.
Yeah, it's basically like a Guantanamo Bay Bush era torture. That's
exactly Zero Dark 30 with the fucking
getting waterboarded with Monster Energy drink or Topo Chico seltzer. I loved it because I guess you and I, being men of a certain age, in the past, if you wanted to, and obviously thrifting has exploded as a trend with Gen Z looking not just for one-of-one jawnz, and because it is like a look that seemingly a lot of disparate types of folks want to get behind, and also I guess it's good for the environment, which is great. We love a earth conscious generation. But when you and I back in the day wanted to do something at this scale, you would have like, you're going to an estate sale. If you, and I'm not saying we did this, but you go to an estate sale, you go to like a flea market, you go fucking digging in the bins. I thought it was cool that and this might be like a touristy way to approach it, but I'm choosing to think glass half full and be positive. If I was like a young kid and I could get tickets to this thing for, I'm assuming it wasn't that expensive, like 10 or 20 bucks, 25 bucks, whatever it was. And you could just pull up and you post up all day and go shopping and all like the best of the best at all different fucking price ranges, whether it's vintage stuff or upcycled kind of one-of-one stuff from, inspiring designers. Like the fact that it's all there under one roof, and this is not a paid plug by ThriftCon. It made me happy for that generation, because what a convenient but exciting way to shop. That's how I kind of saw it.
Very convenient.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I think there's something to be said about convenience versus like, no, you got to fucking go to Rose Bowl and you got to get there at 4 a.m. and you got to go fucking
you're already late, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And go digging or whatever. Like, and there's people that want to do that. That's great. If it's all about the hunt for you, awesome. For me, I want to fucking shop at my leisure and know that I'm only seeing like a curated best of the best. And that doesn't mean crazy expensive rap tees. It means all different types of things.
Yeah. So there is that extremely lazy perspective. There's also what?
Lazy, convenient.
Okay. Potatoes. What I really
Moosh booze
appreciate, again, this is not paid whatsoever. This is just like kind of our, observations and perspective on this. I just like that it was happening in real life.
Yeah, for sure.
Versus like, all this shit happening online, eBay, Grail, Depop, whatever. It was sick to just like, see people, whether they were like getting dressed up, whether they were going there with friends, meeting people, whatever, meeting vendors linking and building, etc. It was just cool that this was in a real life forum. Could I hear anything anyone was saying? No, not really.
Nope.
The 2000 BPM drilling a fucking jackhammer into my skull kind of prevented that.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of just like, what? Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was cool because, there are a lot of like looking around. There's a lot of kids just like, oh, this motherfucker's never been outside during the day.
Yeah. Listen, if it gets you out of the house and it gets you making connections, we love that for you guys.
Exactly.
100%.
We were 1000%. I think I noticed this. I showed up first and then you pulled up and I was like, yo, you're wearing this shirt. I was like, we're the only people in here wearing shirts with collars.
Yeah.
Cause I was going to say only shirts with buttons, but you showed up in the knit polo, except for like soccer tees and the security staff.
Yeah,
we're the only motherfuckers in there with collars. Everything else just like the most insane t-shirt you could think of times 2, and then just the fucking jorts down to the shins.
It's happening.
I'm sorry, not a fan.
It's still happening.
I'm curious what the time is going to be from you seeing that at ThriftCon until you start doing that.
I mean, I've been wearing
no
jorts.
You and I, fans of big jorts. I'm talking jorts down to the like Tracy McGrady, like Carmelo Anthony draft.
No, not for me. I have the slouch socks hike up too much. There would be no skin exposed between.
That's great.
I mean, not during the summer when it's hot. I
protect you from the UV.
We talked to Emma a bit about this, and you'll hear this on Friday when we have a fun little Friday fiasco with the Y2K queen and friend of the show herself, Emma Rogue, the only, in your words, hardworking Gen Zer out there.
Yeah.
But this idea of capris, and for men, we can just go with manpris as a portmanteau. That doesn't work.
They pris.
Yeah, those don't work for me. Like not just in my mind, but like with my chicken legs. So that's not
and your age.
Yeah, and my age and my socks. That's not something that I feel like I'll be dabbling in. If anything, is that not, you're like, yo, I want to hit the court Nadal style in the pris. Like, is that
fucking no? I want to be picking my ass in the,
I don't know, dude.
Oh my God. No, I swear to God, he wore a thong. I believe that theory.
That's what people said. What, jock strap?
No, because that's bare ass on capri. I think it's thong.
Because he might have been picking the supports on either side.
I think but he was in the crack. The supports are like, the supports are supposed to go like under and around cheek.
Yeah.
He was like in the Mariana Trench.
He was that shit.
Digging deep into every nook and cranny.
Between every point, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think he was wearing a thong. Like, and as like a performance thing, not as like a sex thing, as like he wore a thong.
So I just
to be the fucking coat.
It just makes me feel sexy, dude. I don't know.
His autism was on crazy display in the doc.
This is I don't want to say my issue, but this is why it's hard for me to get behind these generational guys like Messi and Nadal and even like Alcaraz, as I've said on the pod.
Because you don't support the neurodivergent?
No, I support the neurodivergent
as hell.
I support the neurodivergent, but when it comes to like building a brand around these guys, there's nothing else going on besides the singular sport pursuit of greatness, which I know is like going Kobe mode and kind of like, MJ or
that
whatever.
Is the brand is excellence. Look, I'm not saying I'm buying Lionel
Manpris.
Messi. I'm not buying Rafael Nadal Manpris.
Yeah.
I would like to buy him a fucking hair transplant.
Sure.
Or a toupee at least.
I'd like to buy him some Legos so he can have a hobby.
I'm not buying the Nadal Bull. I don't even know what the brand is. But the brand is just excellence. And for a lot of people, that's
enough.
That's enough. That's very attractive.
I totally understand. I just mean, when I think of holistically a 360 view of somebody, I'd like to have some type of personality, even in like an after match interview or something like that. I want to go back to Manpris, right? And this idea of like, right, obviously we've aged out. Have you seen anyone that we are friends with remotely attempt that type of bottom half maneuver?
Pause. The only person that, yes, in terms of a Manpris, I believe Jesse Hudnut.
Okay.
The GOAT can do no wrong.
Whose brand is excellence.
Sartorial
excellence.
And I think I'll be chilling with him in Paris a little bit.
Nice.
And then in terms of just gigantic shorts that are at Manpris level, Hugo Mendoza.
Oh, like b-ball shorts.
Yeah. And
That's an interesting look.
Awake just put out a pair that I think he was, rocking whatever. And, Clint does the thing where he like hikes up his track pants, right? Or like hikes up the sweats a little bit, kind of in like a
soccer
football,
warm-up.
soccer, Bon Louis aesthetic. But they're not doing it with like the crop baby tee and the fucking, fake chrome necklaces and like the raver shit. It's more just kind of like, it's just like, I don't know, like 90s hood style.
Yeah. What do you think of like the giant
or 2000s?
What do you think of like the giant like and1 style basketball short? And there's some fashion brands too that are making like that exaggerated. I can't think of any offhand. I don't think Balenci did this, but like it's like
how about that brand, that Italian brand PDF?
Oh,
that shit,
bro. That brand fucking sucks. Italian. Sometimes
I made sure. I looked him up. Not black.
He like has made stuff. I only know of him because he's a psycho Italian gremlin that has made ridiculous clothes. Mainly the footwear is kind of blown up for like Yachty and Drake. That show is the most Italian thing I've ever seen. Just insensitive on how many levels with the most dog shit clothes on top of it. Like it was true, pure. Speaking of Italian greatness, this is the most Italian thing I've ever seen in my life. Just straight Euro trash.
Yeah.
From an interesting younger perspective.
But it was like young men, mainly young men of color in prison.
Yep. The show was a conceptual take on a prison riot. And I think breakout with maybe the designer, this guy, the PDF dude, being like the warden or something. It was like very, yes, super tasteless, super insensitive, extremely Italian. More offensive ingredients, out of pocket pizza, PDF. I think that the basketball shorts thing is interesting, and I've seen it. I guess I've seen that like just crazy exaggerated. Again, and1 style polyester like basketball shorts with like crazy pops of color. Like it definitely looks cool on the right person, mainly not a white guy. But that's I guess the only thing I've seen approach like our age bracket, because that is harkening back to like when we were in probably like middle school and high school. Like
when Escalade was fucking slammed, dunking on and spinning past like. Yeah, there's the AND1 Mixtape.
Yeah, the spinners were spinning and AND1 was dropping fucking mixtapes. And was
the professor the OG spicy white boy?
He definitely had a fucking that tape up was done with a fucking protractor. So I don't know. He was getting after it for sure. White Chocolate, Jason Williams. There's a bunch of spicy white boys on various different levels of courts back in the day. But yeah, outside of that, which I can relate to because I have like a cultural reference point. I wouldn't do it myself, but outside of that, just like just a straight up Manpris style pant or not even pant like that short. I just can't. Yeah, it'll never work for me.
The shorts that I'll be wearing in Paris, like that's probably the biggest I'll go in terms of length and width and whatnot, which is just like, that's just, I don't know. That's just how we wore them.
And width, I think width is the key, where it's like some of these manpris, not that they're like skinny, like Nadal court style,
man.
but like they're not, they need to be wider for it to kind of like work, you know?
When I was a kid, I got these, I ordered these pants off CCS. I fucking begged my parents, finally got them. I thought they were sick. They arrive and they're fucking manpris. So I had to sag the shit out of them so that they would like touch my ankle.
Damn.
Like touch my ankles. Because otherwise they're just like at mid shin. And I'm like, this is, and even though that was like, you know, it was like late 90s, 2000s, I was like, this is fucking, can't say the word. But you know, when I was in 8th grade, that's the word you would use.
You could quote yourself. It's a context thing.
Like, these are fucking stupid. And so I'd sag the shit out of them, and then like it was like just like, and then I'm like sagging the fuck out of my pants, and then like my ass is out, and like
you got dick over the waistband.
I wasn't going dick out yet.
That reminds me of
yeah, that was a CCS disaster.
Yeah, so it was before you knew your inseam. Clearly, now obviously you know this information. That reminds me of buying my first pair of black wide-well corduroy Jenkos, and while they were the correct length in terms of covering my shoes, I remember I begged my mom, please take me to Bob's Sporting Goods. Please spend the exorbitant, sum of money for a, 12-year-old's pants. And then me being like too embarrassed or feeling like a poser to wear them, and then wearing them to school and then getting called out as a poser on my fucking maiden voyage in Jenkos. I've told the story before, and it fucking broke my heart, dude. I was bullied into oblivion.
This has really done a number on your psyche. Getting called a poser.
No, because I feel like
whether it's the Jenkos or
Strokes tee.
Strokes tee.
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
It was a Strokes tee and just a bunch of band tees. I was called a poser.
Or
that was in high school. That was
camp
worse.
When the counselor was like, Lawrence thinks he's black.
That's right.
Which is he was black.
Shout out T-Biscuit, my counselor.
What was it at your frat or in your high school where some kid then like as adults like later apologized to you?
That was the bullying for the band tees, which was crazy. Yeah,
I feel like this is really are you in therapy?
No.
If you ever go to therapy, which I know you won't, I feel like this is like you should talk about
processes trauma. I don't know.
Or it's just like how that stuff has kind of molded parts of who you are.
Well, I feel like now it's almost like when I go hard, and I have no shame. Maybe I'm overcompensating, but the Jenkos moment, that was really tough because I also felt really bad because I had to beg my mom to spend the money, and she like graciously did. And then like I was like, I'm refusing to wear these, and I had to fucking explain to her. I think.
Damn, bro.
I think
you let down your mom.
I think my mom either wanted to or did call this kid's mom, which is again embarrassing, and like he had to apologize to me over the phone. And we ended up becoming friends. Shout out Sean Murray.
Why are you doxing him? Why are you doxing this bully?
It was a very just generic fucking Irish name. I don't know. He came out of the closet, was an actor. Do you remember there was
that's why, and that's why you're always fucking sucking up to the gay.
But we became. It's funny how
what the gay dudes love, bro.
But it's funny how we
want their approval.
We became really good friends later on. But there was a when he was at NYU, and he graduated when I graduated. But he was on there was a reality show that took place at NYU called Under the Arch. It might have been online only, but he was like the focus of this show. I don't think he had come out or either just come out, but
he's like, what's up? I'm at NYU. I finally left a town full of fucking posers that were in their black cord Jenkos. Why were you like, why were you a poser?
I think it was because like I didn't,
because they weren't jeans,
or I wasn't skating, or I think I might have. It was more of like you're a copier. Maybe it was copying. Maybe the posing was more of high school with posing as like a
poser is a. It's not that you're posing.
Maybe he was like, you copied me because he was the first one with Django's, and he's like, and he had an older brother,
bro.
Which obviously, if you have an older brother, you know all the cool shit earlier. But no, I think that was maybe, you copied me. That was a tough call out. Being called a copier, that's a fucking scarlet letter worse than fucking
swagger
the fate worse than death. And then the posing shit was later in high school. It's weird how ultimately I either got apologies or became friends with these people. I was able to.
You had your mommy fucking back you up, bro.
I was able to fucking bend them to my
about
will.
It. They're like, well, just fucking just say you're sorry. Don't shut up.
Anyway, that's a brief history of me getting bullied when I was younger. Yeah.
Speaking of copying, you just did some shopping in Soho for your little trip.
I knew this was going to be bad and extremely annoying, but on Friday, after getting my hair cut and running some errands, I was like, I'm going to bring these suits to Paris. I would like to kind of lean into the Polo agenda, my own Luke's Polo agenda, the kind of general kind of, resurgence of polo shirts. And obviously they're always around, but like, I was like,
exist.
But
this is your personal. You're like, I don't have that many polo shirts.
Even better.
Let me start wearing polo shirts. That's what it is.
Even better that I'm not copying, I guess. So I was like,
because everyone has been wearing polo shirts are a staple.
Bin
You're like,
had polo.
no, you're like polo shirts are a staple. You're like, oh, I'm gonna make polo shirts my thing now. That's what it is.
Well,
that's fine.
maybe.
You're not copying anyone. You're not a poser because you're fucking white.
I'm just
All
late.
right? What?
I'm just late.
You're not late. You're just making nothing out of. You're making something out of nothing.
A mountain out of a molehill, you might say.
You're making something out of nothing.
So I was like, okay, if I'm going to be in Paris and I got a black suit and I got a gray suit, I'm like, what will work better than just two monochromatic fucking Lacoste polos, one in black, one in white. So I went to the fucking store on Broadway and holy fuck, dude. If I had
You wear your black polo with a black suit?
no, it's the black polo will go with
You
the
wear
gray
a white
suit.
polo with a black suit?
Yeah, that's the plan.
I'm gonna be like, garçon, more
No.
bread, please.
Trust me, this is the raw silk
it's a
Samana
tuxedo.
Mall suit is no, it's not a
Okay.
tuxedo.
Oh, I got the silk tuxedo.
You're getting a tux. I have a suit. I got two new suits, one from Samana Mall and one from J Muser. I want to bring them to Paris on Birthright. I guess not Birthright because that's not where they're from. But anyway, they're made in Voyage. So I go to the fucking store, and if I had known my size, I wouldn't have to do this, bro. It was fucking mayhem. Well, the biggest altercation I saw was there was a lot of tourists and out of town shopping there.
In the Soho Lacoste
In
store.
the Soho Lacoste. So the store is a fucking mess. It's a disaster. The staff is clearly burnt out and does not want to be there. Not extremely helpful.
They just opened a flagship on Fifth Ave. You should have gone there.
This was an easy way for me to I walked from the office to the store, got some steps in, whatever. The worst thing that I saw was an older Chinese woman that was clearly buying jawnz for doing the wonderful active service of gift giving to a lot of people in her family.
You know she's Chinese how?
Because I heard her try to converse with the staff, and I could understand
In what
that.
language?
She was speaking Mandarin.
Okay.
And this guy is
You're
trying to
speak to the staff in Mandarin?
yeah, and then he's trying to communicate in English, and it's like when you travel and you don't necessarily know the language, you just speak in the language and you hope that they pick something up. This was
Really?
I swear to God, this was happening.
That's what you do?
Bonjour. One steak frites, please.
Giorgio Armani jeans.
One Giorgio Gina. Anyway, so she has this big haul on the counter, and the guy, while she was trying to figure out the payment mechanism of either tapping or inserting her card, he wraps it all up. He brings it back. Unfortunately, I don't know if it was a banking error or whatever. She couldn't get her card to work, but didn't realize that because she doesn't speak or read English. So she thought she paid. So she took her bundle and was leaving, having not paid, and the staff had to aggressively chase her down to the point where, and I understand the Lacoste Polo staff the Lacoste Soho store staff is probably great people normally, and this might have just been a very stressful time. The guy fucking ripped it out of her fucking hands, dude, and was like, no, you have to pay. And again, it's just general confusion. And if anything, I felt really bad for her. She's like, I'm getting fucking assaulted right now by this fucking guy. Anyway,
You understood her saying that in Mandarin?
no, she was just completely fucking shocked. She thought she had paid, and who knows? She thought she was gonna get fucking ice called on her or some shit.
She's
I don't
Mandarin,
know.
not Cantonese?
No, it's definitely not Cantonese.
Okay.
So luckily she figured out how to pay. And by the way, this whole time that this is happening, this whole transaction from her bringing the stuff up there to her, unbeknownst to her stealing it, is a 15-minute endeavor where I'm just waiting at the register on the next one,
Bruh.
just hoping to get my two polos fucking rung up. And I'm just watching this whole thing. And the guy did apologize to me for waiting. And I was like, I'm good. I'm in no rush. I feel more bad for this woman who just had she was shocked, dude. Shocked and appalled, honestly, considering how aggressive they had
American
to be.
exceptionalism.
I mean, anyway, so it was a disaster. And again, I really wish I knew. And of course, it's oh, I'm a large. Duh. I could have just probably bought this shit online. I didn't have to go to the store, but I try to avoid shopping at places like that for the most part. I don't even really enjoy shopping as
And
much
the
as
big brand flagship.
yeah, and I feel listen, this is going to happen if you go to anything from the Uniqlo in Soho to even one of the fucking high-end fashion Soho flagships, and I guess Lacoste is somewhere in between. But it's just no one's happy. The staff isn't happy, justifiably so. They're not getting paid shit to fucking, be treated like ass all day. And then it's the customers aren't happy either. They're either out of towners who are confused and flustered because it's straight fucking mayhem, or it's I guess New Yorkers trying to shop, but like you can't fucking find your place to get in amongst this fucking ecosystem, this hurricane that is existing in the store. And I got what I came for, but like I was like, holy shit, that was like, even for me, a traumatic experience that like ruined my day.
I mean, you also kind of got what you deserve, no? Like shopping
That's what I'm saying.
Shopping in a big flagship in Soho on a Friday afternoon.
Absolutely got what I deserved for sure. That's hand
You got to go
up.
with those expectations.
That's on
I think
me.
you got to go in being like, I'm going in like to a war.
I thought
I'm going to bomb fucking
I'm going
Fojo
to
right now.
I'm going into the Middle East. I really thought that because
I'm at the U.S. Air Base in Qatar,
yeah.
which is they just got bombed.
Right. No, I just assumed, I mean, this is probably naive. I assumed that because it's like Lacoste and not like some crazy cracking brand, but like where they kind of sit in the Polo hierarchy, that no one was going to like be in there.
What?
I know, right? I don't know why I just
It's
assumed.
probably one of the most popular fucking brands in the world. They just, they sponsor the French Open.
They have such crazy shit in there.
Yeah.
They have these like crazy all over print, like geometric sweatsuits that you might have seen in your friends and neighbors. Cause I think Lacoste is one of the many brands that like obviously is paying to get featured in that show. If you whether I think it's John Hamm wears them or some of the other fucking dads or whatever, they're wearing these like crazy loud Lacoste tracksuits, these trackies. And I'm like, they're kind of sick. And the whole staff, clearly that's the uniform. So the whole staff
Larry's
looks like
tracksuit agenda.
Yeah, the whole fucking staff, they're looking like magic eye optical illusion test, like, and it's like fucking crazy. Dude.
Whatever happened to your tracksuit?
Still
era?
got it. My Fila Plus tracksuit. Whatever happened to that brand is the question.
I asked the group chat that because there are no more posts. They wiped their IG. Maybe it's a one and doneer.
I know Lev got those checks. I think they did 2 seasons. Either way, yo, you asked what happened to that agenda of mine. I was debating bringing it with me to Paris, the tracksuit, because it is a fucking look, dude. And for the clown college fucking valedictorian who's on his fucking grade A bullshit, that almost found its way into the suitcase. I am happy to report that it is staying back.
Why are you happy?
It's not coming. Well, happy to report to you and the audience at home that probably doesn't want to see me wear that on Instagram.com.
Ralph sent us a few things and I got just like a navy polo that I think I'm going to bring.
It's already packed. Except
that was mine.
Except mine is cropped at the belly button, buddy. I talked about this on the show. I cropped it. So look, there's a fit that I could be.
It's a look. That's not an excuse to do something. It's a look. Okay.
No, I have a look that I have.
What's the look? What's your crop?
The best way I could describe the fit is 38-year-old schoolboy. He was held back quite a few times. It's my fashion Billy Madison.
I'm gonna not go to Paris. But I had a little nice moment with
This is
Ralph.
what I want to hear about.
I had a nice little moment with Ralph Lauren where they invited me to the U.S. Open ball boy tryouts.
Mm-hmm. Bucket list.
Your boy Jimmy jumped at the fucking chance. I said, whatever I got to do. I'll fucking, whatever I got to do. I'll go out to Queens, take the 7 on a scorching hot Friday.
Yeah.
I'll wear the full ball boy get up, head to toe, shoes, shorts, polo, hat. Hat's fire. I bought one at last year's US Open just to like play tennis in.
Does it say like ball boy on the side or anything? Or
no, it says US Open 2025, I think.
Okay.
Actually, no, not on the hat. I felt like young Dro. Yo, the shoes are different colors.
Stupid fruity swag, bro.
Like one's orange and navy and yellow, and one's like green and yellow and navy.
You better lawyer up.
And mismatching shoelaces.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It's a look for sure.
I asked if I get a +1 for my boy Anoop, it was just his birthday. That's why we're in Jamaica, and it's definitely a bucket list item for him. I was like, yo, this is gonna be fucking awesome. I really wasn't sure going into this what it was going to be. I thought we were going to be legit training or trying out next to like the actual ball kids, which I later learned there's 1,600 ball kids. It gets whittled down to like 400.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's an army. That's a child army.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so happy you didn't show up in your fucking cropped Ralph polo. They would have rejected you. They would have get this PDF out of here.
I turned down this potential chance to embarrass myself in public, and I will say that I would have had to wear the same kit. Let's be clear.
Get this PDF Italian racist out of here.
That's none. I'm none of those.
Are you going to show belly?
No. It goes over a beater, and it only shows belly if I was like completely like putting my hands in the air.
Like right now.
Yeah.
All right. So we weren't trying out with the kids, but we did get like the full experience, and it was very much at times I felt like a little Make-A-Wish, right? But I didn't give a fuck.
Were you actually getting judged to potentially be a part of the child army?
Well, no. I was confused. I was like, are we actually trying out? Like, what if we get selected? Or what if the kids laugh at us? What if I, trip over my shoelaces and bust my fucking lip open?
I'm supposed to go to Paris. How I can't make this work in my schedule.
It's going to be a look. My lip is a look. And with a noob, because he goes there all the time, right? So he pulls up and he's wearing the full kit too. And they're like, why are you dressed like that, Anoop? Because the whole staff there knows him.
Oh, wow.
And they're like,
incredible.
Are you trying out for the ball boy shit?
Damn,
he's like,
bro.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
So walking up there, mad nervous. Not nervous, like little butterflies, Arthur Ashe Stadium right there. Beautiful grounds.
Mhm.
Always beautiful whenever you can. You can play there, by the way.
How's the weather this day?
It was hot, but not humid. Pretty cloudy, nice coverage, a little windy. The wind was a bit of an issue. But just anyone that doesn't know this, you can book the courts that not Arthur Ashe, not Louis Armstrong, not the grandstand, but you can book the outer courts at Billie Jean King for $40 an hour.
Yeah.
Except for when they're gearing up for the Open and during the Open, obviously. But like throughout the year, and they have indoor facilities, whatever. It's just a matter of getting out there. 7 train goes right there. So we pull up. Ralph homies.
Did you guys travel there together, both in the full fucking outfit?
Yeah, we drove.
Okay, I was gonna say thank God. That's tough. That's a tough look.
We drove. It would have been a bit much on the 7 train.
Yeah. Couples outfits, 100% disagree.
Yeah. If John Rocker had been on the 7 train and seen us, fucking
Pride. It's still Pride.
Yeah, true.
It's always Pride.
So we got linked up with I think one of the heads of the ball boys.
What's like the ball,
ball man,
the ball boss.
We got linked up with ball man, and they're legit all right, you're not trying out, but this is the criteria upon which we would grade you, and we're going to do 20 minutes of what these kids have to do for 90 minutes.
Jesus, cardio,
and that's how we whittle them down.
Holy cardio.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, Lawrence. We did some ladder sprints, from one sideline, double sideline, singles, service line, suicides. Yeah. Did I not want to try too hard and be cool? Yeah, but did I also want to beat the professional ball man,
the professional children? Also,
yeah, and I did.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because there were 2 ball men and 1 ball woman. There's the head guy and then the 2 captains. And the captain that was leading us through, I beat him. No big deal. No big deal.
Yeah.
No big deal. And then they teach us how to fucking,
roll,
how to wait until the ball hits the net. It's a big one. I fucked up on the first one. I started sprinting because I knew the guy's just whipping to the net. And I fucked up and went early.
So you were
wait for the ball to hit the net.
I already know what's going to happen. So you're trying to get a jump on things. I see.
Yeah. My running critique got criticized
a
few times in the comments of the shit that I posted. And to those people, I want to say to you, you have clearly never tried to open field tackle. You've probably never played tennis because you got to take small steps.
What were the criticisms of your gait was too short?
They're why are you running like that? And it's you do, okay, you take 3 big loping, you take small steps to get your speed up, right? And by the time by the time you're charged up, you're at the ball and you have to break down.
Right.
You can't just keep running and scoop at the ball. It's not so whether it's an open field tackle or if you're running at me, I chop my feet.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
In tennis, when the ball's coming, you get there and then you take a lot of small steps.
You look ridiculous right now. So this is what people were. This is what
I was like, yo, fucking
damn,
bro. I got 5s across the board in hand-eye coordination,
out of what?
Speed,
10?
out of 5.
Oh.
Hand-eye coordination, speed, accuracy, and focus, concentration. I was on my phone a little bit.
Got great content,
I was mainly checking texts on ThriftCon stuff.
Okay.
I wasn't filming myself.
I'm working. This is just a side gig.
Yeah.
It's the hustle economy. I make money on the weekends as a ball boy at the US Open. I'm normally a professional podcaster.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. And the guy was like, yo, if you want to,
oh wow,
if you want to try out,
throw your polo hat in the ring for real.
And I was like, yeah, I do. So Lawrence, I don't know what the Throwing Fit's sabbatical policy is. But
You need 2 weeks.
boy might have to take 2 weeks off next year.
Wow.
Or you come out to Queens, we pod on the grounds.
Center court, dude.
Yeah.
Easy.
From Arthur Ashe or from more likely like, behind the fucking, Fuku chicken stand.
Yeah. So this lived up to expectations and is like, has only planted the seed of how you could do this more.
It felt, whenever I get to watch tennis, I love seeing seeing the coordination of the tennis boys and the tennis girls the ball boys, ball girls is very sick. It's like a dance that like really supports and keeps it going and like is very fluid and
the most dangerous dance.
Yeah. And they're there to like make sure that like the players are able to just like focus solely on the game.
Yeah.
You got to appreciate that. They get a lot of love from the players, from the whole tour, from the fans.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fucking tough. So to like cosplay this like fantasy for like 25 minutes felt very silly, but very sick. And I was absolutely trying my hardest to like not fuck up and like scoop the ball, roll it with no bounces, like roll it like flush on the ground.
Yeah. Efficient as possible.
Take the small steps to adjust because, you never know where the ball's going to go.
Right. No,
you never know what type of fucking spin is on it, right? Was it a slice? Was it top spin? Was it a Hawaiian grip? You don't know.
Here's a question. Everyone who is an official ball girl, ball boy, ball woman, ball man, those are all tennis players, presumably?
No.
Oh, really? This is like its own thing for people.
So it's a lot of high school students that maybe they don't play tennis. The one
you get high school credit or something like extracurricular activity.
I think you get paid. I'm sure you can like put it on your college application or whatever. The one, the USTA kind of like does this to get like potential new tennis players involved. The head ball man was like, yo, I was a soccer player. And then I did ball boy at the Open for a summer and I fell in love. And now like I'm fucking king ball man.
And now I'm a lieutenant for an army of child soldiers.
Exactly. Yeah, so it only lasted 25 minutes. I thought it was going to be an hour and a half, whatever. That just meant that Anoop and I got to play an extra hour of tennis, like actual tennis afterwards.
Sure.
So sick. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome, dude.
And it was a nice little taste of the US Open, which I think is the next big, Wimbledon's next, yeah. And then hard court season will be upon us. And it should be a lot of fun.
Yo, shout out to fucking Ralph Lauren. Like, they're making dreams come true for the only podcast that matters.
Listen,
and we love our horsepower.
Am I going to say? It definitely was a bit of a make-a-wish situation. Luckily, Lawrence, I, like you, decided to eat light the night before when I was at... Let's just get into a little food corner real quick.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it. Let's talk about
Why don't you go first? You go first, because I was just talking about being a ball boy.
This is a quick one. There's in my neighborhood in Bed-Stuy, what's up?
Clinton Hill?
No, this is more on the Bed-Stuy side.
But you live in...
Clinton Hill, Bed-Stuy, literally right on the border.
To me, you live in Clinton Hill. No, you tell me that you live in Bed-Stuy.
I tell you, you gotta. Well, it depends. It's all case by case who you're trying to impress, right? But I have the luxury of code switching my address depending on who I'm talking to.
Yeah, you know what this sounds like? Some poser shit.
Yeah. Well, obviously, my history is ripe with that. So there's been a kind of dearth of new good restaurants in Bed-Stuy outside of some of the new spots that my boy Matt Diaz has opened that I've talked about on the show before. But there was this Cuban spot in the neighborhood called Pilar. And it was one of the first restaurants that Jen and I went to when we first moved into the neighborhood. And unfortunately, and listen, having a local Cuban joint is fantastic. Who doesn't love Cuban food? This place was sadly mid. There was a bakery that they ran next door that was pretty solid, but the restaurant itself left a lot to be desired, which is a shame. It closed, I don't know, maybe over a year ago, and a new spot finally opened. And for anyone who finds himself that lives in Bed-Stuy, listens to the show, or Clinton Hill, or anyone who is traveling there, it's a great new spot called Millie's. And I met the owner. His name is Ron. It's his first restaurant. He's worked in hospitality his whole life. This is his first kind of foray as a restaurateur. And the meal was incredible. And I had a dish that I had never had before that was incredible. And I want to describe it.
Salad.
It was a vegan pesto grits succotash. And it was... And there's a lot of good stuff on this menu. This was fucking out of this world. I've never had such creamy, perfect grits that were made without cheese, hence the vegan. The fact that it was like amped up with pesto made it kind of like, this kind of Southern delicacy. Grits made it very Italian. And then I never had, like, do you even know what succotash is?
Yeah, it's like is it like zucchini and squash and like a bunch of chopped up veg?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like anything.
They gentrified the grits.
Yeah, I guess so. And then they PDF'd them. They made them Italian. But I just knew of Succotash as Sylvester the Cat, suffering Succotash. I didn't even know like really what it was.
Your reference was a cartoon from when you were a baby?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And it was mind-blowingly good, and I couldn't recommend it more. And it's awesome to have a great new restaurant from some guy who's just taken the leap, who's doing it right. Shout out Ron. The staff was amazing. Interior is really cool. They have some great cocktails as well. Other amazing things in the menu. I just want to shout out Millie's because I don't really, when you and I talk restaurants like you're about to as well, like they're usually, I don't know about you, they're not necessarily neighborhood joints, right? Places where we don't live. So for me to have one of the best meals I've had in a long time and have honestly maybe a top 3 dish that I've had this year just open up right down the block for me. I just want to shout them out and highly encourage anyone that, again, finds themselves in the Bed-Stuy area to check out Millie's.
All right.
That's it for me.
I had dinner Friday at Fedora. And I'll talk about the restaurant, but I want to talk about kind of like, again, as we always do, take a step back.
Yep.
Take a step back, Lawrence. Jazz, the only true American art form. All right.
Yeah.
Fedora was a very classic West Village neighborhood joint.
Mm-hmm.
It, amidst like all the fucking madness and the West Village girlies.
Yep.
I don't know how long exactly it was open in its original iteration, but it shut down, got opened up by some, reopened, still under Fedora, original sign and everything. The chef came from La Roque, and I believe Frenchette, or maybe just from like the Frenchette group.
Yeah.
The wine is done by someone at formerly Four Horsemen.
Look at that. Murder's Row.
The interior was done by the folks that did Rafts and Cafe Zifri. Incredible.
Yeah.
And the reservation got made. I was like, oh, West Village. God, like, fuck. Like, this is going to be way overpriced. Incredibly mid.
Trash crowd.
Well, yes, was the assumption. The food was insane. The merguez sausage was like, I'm still thinking about it fucking 3 days later. Grilled zucchini salad was fucking gas. Food was insane. And the food is so good that like it being the West Village, a very extremely cursed neighborhood that I never want to spend any time in unless it's to get a Jay Muser suit. I would go back. And I want to shout this place out because it is like an outpost in this incredibly cursed neighborhood that like an
oasis, you might say.
It's an oasis. And the food was so good that it trumped the horrendous crowd that surrounded us. To my right was a elderly couple, like in their 60s, tourists from Boston, whatever. To our left was and this is kind of the theme throughout. Oh, and Chef Jeremiah Stone was there. So
shout out Jeremiah.
Yeah.
King.
That's how you know it's good. If you see chefs eating there, you know it's good. But the couple to our left was huge age gap situation. Older white man who kind of looked like what's the rock guy in Fantastic Four?
The Thing.
Imagine him, but like pale as hell.
Okay.
Right? Just like a lumpy fucking like big featured like cheek, nose, forehead.
Okay.
Like big guy, like skinny, but just like
big features.
Lumpy ass motherfucker. All right.
Okay.
And then like a much younger Asian woman. I could only really hear what this guy was saying. And I was just like, you're such an asshole, bro.
Was it ruining your meal? Because you had to by no choice of your own, you had to overhear this guy's convo.
If the food wasn't as good as it was, if the company wasn't as sparkling as it was, then yes, it would have been ruined. But the food like trumped this. But so to the point where it's like entertaining, where he's like, oh yeah, my friend who owns the Indiana Pacers is telling me that. And it's like, you fucking, and he's like, oh yeah, Le Vaudor. It's like impossible to get a table there, but like, stick with me, toots. We'll eat there any day of the week, hon. I hate you, bro. I fucking hate you. Okay, okay. I will say this. I was beating myself up a little bit for not saying anything in the face of injustice when he, to his Asian date, was like, so is it true that like, Asians have bad vision with their squinty eyes? And
what?
I was like, yeah, bro. I was stunned.
Bro, you can't neg racially if you're trying to get pussy.
I was fucking stunned. And
that's crazy.
I really wish I'd said something and I should have. And that's on me. And like next time I really hope.
What was the response?
I will. I don't know. I couldn't really hear what she was saying because she was just a quiet little Asian girl. No, I'm kidding.
I'm letting you cook, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not getting involved. Like The Thing.
Yeah, the thing was thinging, and he was just like,
That's crazy.
just like
Out of pocket as fuck.
yeah, really crazy. I mean, that set the tone for what was happening over here, but it was just like entertaining at this point.
If this was 10 years ago, you might have also seen something out of pocket. Jenna and I went on one of our earliest dates to the old Fedora.
Oh yeah, how was it?
For drinks after dinner. It was a vibe for sure, and definitely was when we were like younger and less successful. It definitely felt like a little treat. I clearly was like trying, and not that she wouldn't, I think, go there for like wine on her own, but you know, definitely felt like a classy date. And what was out of pocket was, I remember we were sitting in a booth in the back, and maybe it was my nerves, or maybe I was like overcompensating, just you know me, maybe talking as loud as the thing with his Asian date, or gesticulating, whatever. But I remember I had a big reaction. I was telling a story, and I was sitting in like, I was in maybe like a booth, and then she was sitting across from me in a chair, but I whipped my head back and I smashed it on like either like like a ledge behind us or a wall. And I like low key like concussed myself, where like it was not like I had to go to the hospital or like it ruined the date, but it definitely was like a holy shit, like, are you okay? And I gotta be like, oh yeah, no, like I'm fine. You know, it's all, but that was the last time I think I've been in Fedora, was as a concussed dumbass also trying to get pussy.
Yeah, fire. So,
Yeah.
you know, the restaurant has a type.
But that was the old Fedora.
Yeah, new Fedora still has assholes trying to get pussy. But again, the food was so fucking fire that I would go back. And
Yeah.
I hate the West Village. I hate people that frequent the West Village. I hate that guy and his ilk. But like the food was, and that's the struggle of like going to certain neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Okay, that just sounded weird, but like you go to certain neighborhoods, you're gonna see a certain type of guy.
No Cuomo.
Yeah, but the West Village is just like, I was like, this is exactly what I expected. Thank goodness, you know, the focus here is so much better than like what's happening over here.
Yeah. Chef's going, like you said, is such a good sign. I mean, this was my buddy Curtis, who works at another restaurant. He was like, oh yeah, I love Millie's. Like, that's where I go to get like after work, like sometimes like a drink and a bite. And you're like, and like, you don't need to necessarily know that ahead of time. You shouldn't go or not go based on that. But what a great way to like be like, oh yeah, I made the right call. When your food friends are like, yeah, that's the new fucking spot. Love that. I don't know about you, but then I feel like, oh yeah, dude, like I'm a fucking gourmand, dude. I know what the fuck is up. Oh yeah, that place, yeah, totally, dude.
Yeah, I'll talk about my podcast by Knit Polo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay.
Speaking of Knit Polos, yo, Love Island.
Incredible.
We haven't talked about it yet because it's like, and we saved it for the end of the episode in case you're not caught up or you're not watching.
spoilers to come.
We understand that, you know, maybe this talk isn't for you, but 100%. I think I put it on the Fitties even before it started.
Bro.
It is show of the year.
Electric, bro.
Hand down?
I've not
Hands
been
down?
I've not been locked in to this kind of TV, reality or otherwise, in a long time. Maybe since like Severance. It is like, for me in my house, it is, I don't know about you, it is 9 p.m. like live appointment viewing to obviously avoid spoilers. Especially when like, you know, you have some Love Island friends and they start sending like memes in the group chat. Like my algo has completely been bent to the will of Love Island, where if I feel like, and I don't know what the fuck we're going to do when we're abroad. Can you get Peacock in France?
I doubt it.
Fuck. But like, dude, I've been locked in every single night, not missed an episode. It's electric.
It's electric.
Boogie, woogie, woogie, woogie. Yeah. I love it, dude.
It's pretty good. Do you watch last year?
USA, yes. But I came in. Okay, is Casa Amor, which is about to happen, is that like we're at the a third of the way, presumably, somewhere around there?
It felt like it happened later last year. I didn't watch live last year. I just like kind of binged it.
I came in after Casa Amor last year is my point. Okay. So I'm really excited because, you know, Casa Amor is, the drama is going to be incredible. It's, you know, this is the thing. I actually didn't love the cast like off rip. And it's one of those things where maybe it's like Stockholm syndrome, or like how the fact that you feel like you're in there with these people, which is the whole appeal of Love Island, is basically happening in real time. But like the parasocial relationships that form, even against your will. Because again, and I originally wasn't like in love with this cast. Like now I feel like I'm like psycho-analyzing these people like they're my best fucking friends.
Yeah, you're deep on the Reddit.
Are you voting?
No.
Okay. You got
I missed the one vote because it was a Friday night and I was not at home watching Love Island. But
your loss.
I was at Fedora watching this guy be racist next week. But what was I gonna say? When I watched Love Island, and I think I tweeted about this like years ago when I was watching like UK season 1 to season 2. I think it was like a COVID watch. I don't know. I was like, yo, I want to be in the villa to just hang with the boys.
Oh, it's the best.
I'm not going to the villa to find love, to, secretly fuck under the covers or anything. I'm going just to hang with the fellas and just like work out and just bullshit and eat avocado toast and grilled cheese. This season though, I'm not really, I thought I was, but that fucking Oompa Loompa has really, I think, poisoned the well.
Torn the villa asunder.
And I know that people are like rooting for me or like, at first they're like, oh, like, I'm like, this motherfucker looks like he is just a sentient Drake lyric. Like, this is what you get when you have men that are raised on Drake. Yourself included, where it's just like,
yeah,
yo, girl, and like licking the lips, like, ha ha.
Yeah, a goated light-skinned fumbler, dude. This guy.
But all of them.
You think it's the Love Island is now poisoned, or the guys, because it's a generation of dudes raised on Drake.
In terms of fucking talking to girls and shit, but like, Ace is just conniving. I think that he's gotten obviously Taylor or Nick under his little person spell.
He's like a producer playing. It feels like he's really playing the game to the point where it's hard to not think of that when you're watching him, like, like you're saying, like be conniving or whatever. And I think it is not. It just feels a bit produced and not as natural and organic as it has in past seasons.
Last season, the boys were like very fucking solid. This season, it feels like they're all just kind of like scheming against each other and like that. And on some like chick shit. I'm trying to think. Last season, I don't remember what the girls were really up to, but I don't know. The girls seem okay this year. Yeah, though. I do love Austin. I know he's
really?
MAGA. I know he's MAGA.
No, I just find him I'm a Nick guy.
He's a fucking snake, bro.
He's not as
Yes, he is.
He's easily
He's a fucking snake. I like
manipulated.
I like him, but he's a snake.
I think his personality is the best.
He's the reason why Jeremiah got kicked out. He's been scheming on Jeremiah for a minute.
Well, and because of an Ace as well. I mean, like the foreshadowing in the most recent episode, I don't know if there would be another one out before you hear this, but like they set it up. I mean, like this idea of like, this guy, the generational fucking you were saying when you were talking about Ace, I was talking about Jeremiah. Jeremiah to me is the most clearly like Drake stan, like the most, I'm not to be like it's the most light skin behavior. He's a lip licker as well. Yo, this is actually all right. I'm gonna take all this back. Anyway,
for sure, but I think he had a rough go of it. Also, like seeing him deal with Huda, I'm just like, oh, bro.
Yeah, that was tough, dude. He was in a prison of his own design. I mean, my thing that if I've learned anything,
Ace wanted Huda, Ace wanted Adrena, Nick wanted Adrena. When Nick on the where's the beef shit, Nick and Sierra were like, I forget what they said exactly, but like, oh no, like you've been saying that shit about him, like you got to dump it on him, and they dumped the milk on Jeremiah of like who should.
Yeah. It seems like, again, I don't blame Nick. I more blame Ace, his manipulation of Nick. But so Austin, I don't know. To me, the issue with Austin is
also the algo is feeding me his like pre-Love Island TikToks now.
Rough.
I'm just like, this guy fucking rocks.
Sure, you could view it that way. He has dude rocks energy. My issue with him is that like he, in terms of like, I don't know if it's his look or his vibe or whatever, it's just very clear to me that like no girls are really interested in him. And I don't foresee a new bombshell coming in and being interested. So it's almost like, why are you necessarily here? If you're not going to get any play, it's just, for me, it's like you're kind of like a non-factor.
You want people in the villa to be looking for love.
Yes.
You want them to play the game.
Well, and looking to smash, even though if this season has taught me anything, it's be careful how quickly you have sex as a couple, because it absolutely 1000% is only going to complicate things, usually for the negative, like it happened with Jeremiah and Huda. And like, unfortunately, it's happening right now with my favorite couple, Nick and Sierra. Once you smash, whether it's for 25 seconds, like my boy Nick, which was incredible that he met that national TV, or seemingly better like Jeremiah, it's not going to end well for you. I think a slow burn physically is the play on the show.
You're really about like the playing of the game.
No,
you're Ace, bro.
It's not
you're a short little game player.
It's not the player it's not the playing of the game. It's that, you're here to be in it. I would hope that you're there to find love and be in a couple.
Well, you know who Nick was into, or Austin was into, for Ace fucking snaked his way into that, was What the Chelly.
The Chelly?
And, I don't know about you, but I kind of believe that Ace and Chelly are married outside of the villa.
Oh, yeah.
Doing this just to win the $100,000.
I've seen some conspiracy theories for sure.
That's all it is.
Yeah, but here's the thing. What the Shelley was never interested in Nick physically, clearly. That was more of a platonic couple deal from the get-go. And if that's always going to be Austin's vibe, where like he's not going to be really with someone emotionally, physically, whatever, it's like, what are you doing here, dude?
Well, maybe he'll find some fucking poontang in Casa Amor.
Yeah. Oh, Casa Amor is going to be a fucking movie.
Yeah, although I wish that Jeremiah and Hoda were still together for that.
Bro, did you see the preview of the girls and the guys are bringing in, though?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, who's doing the casting? To me, it feels like it's felt pretty weak in terms of bombshells this season. And with the preview of the Avengers of Pussy and Dick that are coming in for the Casa Amor storyline, it just feels like they're actively bringing in, I don't know, they're not stunners. Besides,
you know what they should
Adelina.
You know what they should do is they should do a Love Island, but with like one side, the guys or the girls are like just like not good looking at all, are extremely ugly.
Social experiment.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, you got to find love for $100,000. And then see what happens.
Then see who plays the motherfucking game. How bad you want that moolah?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Peacock, you take that one for free. My one takeaway from Love Island is get Megan Thee Stallion on every single fucking season.
Well, it's awesome when someone comes in that actually is a fan of the show, unlike our homie Paige DeSorbo, who came in and was like, "This is clearly like a Peacock branding Bravo crossover thing." I did not.
No. That's not true. She was a fan. We were speculating what happened to her. So she talked about what happened.
Oh, what happened? I didn't see.
She didn't get to style herself. So they gave her that dress. She's like, I've worn this dress before. People are going to kill me.
Oof.
It's true that they killed her. It's a turtleneck suede full length dress. She passed out and barfed.
What?
And so that's why they're like,
oh my God.
Yeah. So she was like, she's being filmed all day. You could see from the angle of the sun.
Yeah.
So
Brutal.
whoever the producers were, whoever shot that fucking Casa bed, I hope they got fired for putting our queen through that trauma.
They did. They shat.
But she was a queen. She was a fan. Our queen was a fan. She flicked up in like the makeup chair, in the confessional, everything. So she knew what she was doing. Yes, it's a Peacock tie-in. So is Megan Thee Stallion styling everyone with hot girl summer bathing suits.
Yeah, that was a heavy-handed plug. But it was awesome seeing her just be like, well, obviously everyone there is fanning out. I mean, they don't even get fucking human connection outside of the fucking Islanders. So obviously they're just happy to see a new face. But the fact that they were fanning out on her and then she was actively fanning out on them on like a two-way street was like awesome to see. And yeah, I mean, Megan Thee Stallion just fucking charisma for fucking days. She's a living legend for sure.
Yeah. I bet Ace is a Tory Lanez fan. All right. This has been another episode.
I think he follows him on, that was the dramas that he legit follows him on Instagram.
Fire,
people were pissed about that.
All right. We got to get out of here because we got to go to Paris.
Oui.
It's been another episode of the only podcast that matters. Bon voyage to Jimmy and Larry, and au revoir to the homies.
Au revoir.
Bye-bye.